Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. Welcome to another edition of Trading Waves Weekly Outlook. Right, so last week you were with Sandile, presented the weekly outlook. What you would have noticed with this presentation is that there's absolutely no difference between how he presents the market and the way I present the market. That's because we've got the same set of rules and guidelines. We work from the same set of rules and guidelines, so we look at the market the same way. So 99% of the time we look at the market the same way, because we have got the same theory, we have got the same outlook. All right, so I've got two important announcements before we get started. Very important to make note of our July special. This is the lifetime plan special. 50% off on the lifetime special are valid until the end of the month. So you've got only a week to take advantage of this, so that if you take this special, that means you don't have to pay a cent for the rest of your life, and you get access to all our future updates and additions to our strategies. Right, so you can take advantage of that. And then this number two is that our next live course, this is the second one for the year. So the next live course is going to be from the 5th of September. So what is the difference between the live course and the recorded course? They're exactly the same. The difference with the live course is that you spend 10 days with me going through the basics of the Elliott wave principles. So the basics and advanced principles of the Elliott wave theory. Now, what we do with the theory, rather what is different with us, is that we have not studied the theory from Google. We have studied this from the books that Elliott wrote himself, okay? So we've studied this, and my background personally is I'm an engineer by profession. So physical sciences and the numerical methods are my specialty. So why is this important as far as the Elliott wave theory is concerned? That's because there is a Fibonacci relationship between the Elliott wave theory. There's actually a mathematical relationship between the Elliott wave theory as well as the Fibonacci theory or numerical methods. So that is where the relationship comes in. Right, so we're going to get started. As usually, what we do is we look at how we forecasted the market in the last week, how the market played out, and the outlook for the next week. Right, so you have seen about 2 weeks ago, I posted a video dubbed scam alert. You need to be careful for that, guys. So there are a number of people subsequent to that we have found that they've been stealing our work. And the problem with that is once we get these people and we kick them out of our groups, they stop making money. Why is that? Why is it that they stop making money? Because we've got a group of traders. Let me just trade in here. We've got a group of traders that are analyzing the market on a daily basis. So what happens on a daily basis is between the London, so during the London session, all our 1 hour charts update are updated. And then during the New York, we update again. So on a daily basis, you will have 2 live updates. And then we've got the live trading room every single day at 8 a.m. GMT, just before the start of the London session. So just to show you why we will not make money if these scams are not in our group, let's just have a look here. Let's go to resources. And I'll show you what the difference is. And this is the difficult part for most people. So we are doing this because we've got a group of traders. So another announcement is that the next week's outlook, make note, guys, the next week's outlook is going to be myself and Sandile on the webinar together. Okay, so we're going to be doing the webinar together. And if you want to join us live, look out for that link. I'll post it on the description of the YouTube video. We're going to be doing a dual webinar together. I think it's going to be interesting. So don't miss it next week. So you need to register. I will post the link down here on the description of the current video. So just look out for it. So register for that webinar next week so you can attend it live. You can get also to ask some questions. This is for free, guys. This is for free. So we'll post up that link. Register on there. Okay, we'll post the link in that description. So register, and if you've always had some questions regarding our services, you'll have an opportunity to ask us live next week. That is at 8 a.m. GMT. Okay, that is 10 a.m. South African time. So take advantage of that The link will also be available on our website. Okay, so the link will always also be available on our website. And just again, another warning, if you have got a subscription onto those website, this is a complete scam. So do not follow this. These are some of the people that are stealing our work. We'll also post the link to the Instagram that is showing you exactly how they do it. So they come into our group, they ask for our strategies because they've paid for it in any case. That's okay. But then they go and sell it, and they do not really understand how this works. So this is where the challenge comes from. So if you look at this here, we've got all these charts that are listed here. If you look at all of this, almost 50 pairs, these are updated twice every day. So that means we update 100 times every single day. So at any given time when you wake up during the start of the London session, all your 1 hour charts will be updated. And then during the New York session, all your charts will be updated. Now, this is the part that most cannot do on their own. Yes, they can give you the course, they can sell you the course, but after the course, you still need to be with us so that we can give you day-to-day mentorship. This is where our live trading room comes from. So if you look at this, so we've got the weekly chart on the euro, and I'm going to be going through this when we start with the market analysis. Look at that, we've got the daily chart. So look where we have been as far as the euro is concerned. If I just open this chart here, you'll see that this chart was posted on February the 20th. Let me just zoom in here so you can see. So this was February the 20th. This year, we knew that the euro was going to drop all the way down. How did we know that? That's because we understand our sequences and our cycles. And we were simply looking for this structure here. If you look at this here, it is been a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And it looks like we have reached the end of the 5th wave. And now we're looking to get a pullback and a move to the downside. And I'll show you exactly where that comes from. Now, with that on the daily, we still do hourly updates. So this is on the daily. So on the 4 hour, you'll see that this was on the 19th of July. So this is the latest one, and this is what we're expecting. I'm not going to go through too much onto this right now. And then on the 1 hour charts, these are updated every single day. So you'll see this was on Thursday during the London session, then Friday, London session, and then in the afternoon, the New York. So you can see that there's already a movement. So our members get this quick update. So you can see here, we're looking for this one to continue pushing to the upside. This was during the London session. It is usually morning in South Africa. So you'll see that in New York, this had already started making a move to the upside, as you can see. So on step-by-step update on what we expect the market to play out. And this is done for all the charts. So every chart has got 4 updates on it. So we'll usually update the daily charts on a weekly or monthly basis, and the weekly charts we'll update it maybe 4 times in a year. But as you can see here, our weekly chart on the euro has been spot on, because we focused on the down move on the euro from when we're still at 1135 here, and we've already dropped over. You can just check here. We've already dropped up to this level, up to or almost parity. We've dropped up to almost parity around this area. That is a big move. This is a daily chart, so this is quite a big move. We're already around here as far as the euro is concerned. Okay, so how did the market play out in the last week? So let's go and have a look at that. All right, so I am here on our Slack channel. This is where we interact with our members and where we post our charts. So this is a chart befores and afters, just to take a few that we've discussed or that we've analyzed in this weekly outlooks. Okay, so let's have a look here. Oh, before we get started with that, I didn't show you where to find us. This is where you find us. You can go under the description of all our videos. You'll find our contact details. You'll find either myself or Sandile on either of those numbers. So only those numbers are valid. So just use those 2 numbers. It's either myself or Sandile there. You can follow us on Telegram, and then you can also follow us on Twitter. I'm not going to mention Facebook, guys. Our account is blocked on Facebook. I think it is because of the charts that we update, and Facebook does not really promote advertising. So our account is currently suspended. Hopefully it will be opened soon. So if you find that you cannot reach us via Facebook, please use Twitter and any other contact method, because Facebook, we don't know how long it's going to be. It's going to take for them to bring our account back again. All right, so If you have not already done so, please subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up if you like our content, right? And don't forget to hit that bell notification button so that you get an update or a notification the next time we upload a video, so you'll never miss another video from us. All right, so let's do that. Let's get started. How did we analyze the market? How did we focus the market last week? So this is what we looked at last week as far as pound yen is concerned. This is pound yen. We are simply looking for this to pull back. As pound yen ended the move to the upside, and are we ready for a move to the downside? So this was our focus. We expected this to do that and then downside. So let's just have a look at how this has played out subsequent to that. Let's go back to the after chart. So this is how it has played out. So as you have seen there, we were looking for this to go onto the blue box. This is where we are. Right, 294 pips. We have already dropped 324 pips. So as you can see, that's already 600 and almost just over 600 pips forecasted in just this short move here, and this is in just last week alone. So let me just show you here so you can get a perspective again of how we looked at this, and you see how easy trading becomes when you know what you are looking at. Okay, so this was the chart before. We wanted to see 3 waves, and we wanted to see this 1, 2, 3 waves into the blue box and the drop, and you can see inch perfect. This is how the market plays out as expected. When you know how the market behaves, you'll be able to focus this, and our members get this before the move played out. Okay, so that was a pound yen. So let's have a look at another one. And you guys have been looking at this, and we have been saying that the yen pairs, we want to see one more move to the upside. So far as the euro is concerned, you'll see there's a bit of a change here, but let's have a look at what we focused on last week and what we've got so far. So last week, we wanted to see this go all the way to the upside, but so far we've gone up to this area, and it looks like we're not going to get a further move to the upside. But let's have a look at how this has played out as far as the forecast is concerned, and we'll see what the indicator is giving us. Right, so this is what we're looking at. So let's have a look here. This is how the market has played out. As you can see, I shouldn't have opened it like that. I must just go back. I want to open the link. Let's close this one. Let's open the link. Right, so that is that. So this is what we forecasted. Makes a move to the upside as forecasted, 477 pips, but we didn't get the upside. We're getting a pullback here. Is this pullback going to resume a move to the upside? That's what we're going to be looking at when we start with the market analysis, whether this is going to continue to the upside as initially forecasted, but we've already got our 477 pips. At this stage, we are seeing a big move to the downside here. We'll update that shortly. That is euro yen. Let's have a look at the rest here. So euro yen, that's how it has played out. Pound, or rather gold. Let's have a look at gold. Gold has been pretty interesting. We've been looking for this to go down as low as 1600. We've been talking about 1600 as far as gold is concerned, simply because we've got this textbook 3-wave corrective structure here. As you can see, we've got a nice WXY corrective structure here in green. We've been talking about this move almost the whole year as far as gold is concerned. And as you can see here, this is a double correction here, and we've been just simply been looking for this one to keep dropping. And just like as forecasted, you can see that this is how it drops. Let's have a look at how this one has been playing out. This is gold. Okay, let's go back again to what it looks like. So this was the move before. So look at this area here at 1829. This is where we focused the move for our members. And as you can see here, from 1829, this has now dropped over 1,631 points. Okay, so just to be specific in terms of the numbers, so we focused this from around 1840, we dropped to around 1640. So that's about a $200 move on gold to the downside. But those will remember, those who've been watching us for a while will remember that we have not just started forecasting here. This is just for the last week. So we've been forecasting gold move to the downside from around this area. So those you can go back to the videos around the 18th of April. You will see that we said that this is going to drop all the way down to 1600, and that is how it is now playing out. We're currently pulling back at 1726. So let's see how this pullback is going to play out. We're still expecting more downside on gold. We're still going to do the market analysis here. I'm just giving you the recaps of how the market has been playing out. So that was gold, and let's have a look at silver as well. So obviously silver will do exactly the same as what gold is doing. So as you can see it's almost the same structure. So this is this is an interesting structure. Most people don't understand how this complex B, in this case rather it's a complex X correction, how the complex X correction works. As you can see here, you've got a complex X correction there, you've got your move up here, and you've got a move to the upside here. It's a nice double corrective structure here, WXY, and then it drops. And when you hear, we know for sure that this is going to drop, and that is how silver has played out as expected. This is what silver does. Okay, so a move to the upside in a double corrective structure. So just to give you a perspective, this is where we were. That is the double correction. This is where the drop has happened, and this was where the forecast started. So this is where we were. As you can see, we've already dropped over 358 points, not pips. There's a difference between a point and a pip. Okay, so we dropped from here as far as silver is concerned. If you look at what is happening now, it looks like we're getting another corrective structure here. We should still see silver continue to the downside. Okay. Right, so let's have a look at the next one here. Is this the last one? So that is what I wanted to show you for this week. There are a number of others which I will show as we go along, especially on the crosses. So just to give you one example on the crosses, let's have a look here on CADCHF. And I'm going to show you most of this when we start with the market analysis. So if you look at CADCHF, we said last week that we want to see this start pushing to the upside. Yes, indeed, we have pushed to the upside, but not all the way. We're currently around this level, and it looks like we're starting to get a move to the downside. But we will update that shortly. But let's just have a look at how that has played out from that forecast on CADCHF. So if you look at this, you'll see that we have pushed to the upside almost to the 50%. Okay, so this is how it has played out to the 50%. So we've got that forecast there. It has moved to the upside. So we've pushed only just a bit to around 50% of this whole move. Now we're seeing what looks like a three-way pullback. Is this a three-way pullback, or is this going to continue to the downside? So that's what we're going to look at now when we start with the market analysis. Right, so give us a thumbs up, guys, if you like our content, and don't forget to join our live webinar next week, Sunday. It's actually Sunday. I didn't mention the date. Sunday at 8 a.m. GMT. We'll have a dual Sandile. We'll have a dual webinar between myself and Sandile, and he'll analyze the one part, and I will analyze the one part, and you'll see there's absolutely no difference between us. Okay, so let's get started with the analysis for this week. How are we looking at the market in this week? Okay, let's go to trading view and see how the market looks. Okay, right, let's start with obviously the DXY. Now this is the DXY. I want to go to our chart on the website, what our updates have been. So let's go here on the DXY. Now, if you're not an experienced trader, and if you're in our group, you will always know what the direction of the market is. If you just go onto the website, you'll find all the charts updated of hourly, 4-hourly, daily, and weekly. Right, so let's have a look here on the DXY. Let's have a look at this here first. Now, in the beginning of the year, this is what we said as far as DXY is concerned. Let's open this one here. This is our weekly chart, and I'm going to zoom in here. This was January, guys, January of this year. How did we know in January? Because what I'm showing you here, I don't even look at when I do my preparations. I just look at the weekly chart, and I come here, I know what's going to happen in the lower time frame, because I understand the sequence and the cycles of the higher degree. So the rest is just noise as far as I'm concerned. So look at this. This is what we look at. This is what is big for us. Right. So from 95, yeah. Okay, this was from 95. We said the DXY is going to push up as high as 112 on the weekly chart in January. Okay, let me go to the chart here on the DXY, so we see how this has played out. So we just 2 points shy of 112 that we forecasted back in January. If I just go back to the weekly chart, so you can see the similarities between those. So where were we on the DXY? We said when we were here, and this is a big move, guys. This is a weekly chart. It's a whole 6 months. Okay, we knew this 6 months ago, that the DXY is going to push up as much as 112. How did we know that? Okay, that's because we understand the sequences and the cycles. Now have a look at what we are forecasting. We are saying we're either going to get a pullback at this stage, and this is what we're forecasting now. Okay, now I keep saying that anybody can forecast the direction of the market. It is the execution that is challenging for most. Now, I'll show you this and you still won't make money because you don't know where to enter. Okay, so this is the focus on the DXY and this is how it has played out. Now, with that, let's go back again. I'm going to show you the DXY and the Euro just to give you perspective. Right, so this was the DXY, this was the daily chart, and you'll see here, this was updated in all time frames. So even on the daily chart, look at that. February, we updated our daily chart, indicating that we are going to see much more upside. As you can see here, we had a corrective structure here back in February, looking for this to push up to 112. How did we know? So this chart is still there. We've posted this chart in February. It has been there since February. No update, nothing. We knew that it was going to get to around 110. We've reached that 110. And as you can see, this is where we are currently, 109, just a few points shy. Okay, so that is how accurate the Elliott wave theory is when you use it with a special indicator that we use with our strategy. So that's where we are. So now, just to show you where we are, I want you to see. Now, this chart that we posted in February, we said that we are going to have this A wave completed there. Okay, so if that is the A, you can see that that move is not complete. So if there's an A, that means we should have a B and then a C. So where we are currently, we're expecting this B move. So that means short term, in the next couple of weeks, we should see some short-term weakness on the dollar index. What does that mean for the rest? So that means wherever the US dollar is paired with any pair, it's going to be weak against that pair for the next couple of days, weeks, and that's what we're going to be looking at. So 4 hour, this is our forecast on the DXY. We're expecting a bit of a pullback of that B that you did not see on the weekly chart. Okay, and on the 1 hour, as you can see, this is what we're forecasting. We're expecting a pullback. You see how systematic this is. This is not a guess. This is educated. This is structured. There is a clear method to this. It's not complicated when you understand how it works. So there's a clear method to this. Even if this does not end here, we may get this one making a double correction before we make that last move to the upside. So this is what I wanted you to see as far as the DXY is concerned. And I'm now going to go into the lower time frame so you can get a clear picture of what we're looking at going into the new week. So the DXY, don't be surprised if you start seeing a deeper move like this. Okay, right. So that is just what we're looking at. So we'll be looking for clear entries for more downside as far as the DXY is concerned here, because you're going to get this pullback. You can get even a deeper one around this level. You can get another one here coming down here and a move to the upside. We will be tracking this for the next leg up higher. And if we get an opportunity to take it to the downside, that's exactly what we will do. Right now, the Euro, guys, the Euro, exactly the same as the DXY, same thing that we're anticipating. Let's just put this one on there. Let's take off all of these things. Right, so the Euro, again, the same thing. The Euro chart was updated back in February. Let's have a look at that Euro chart. I'm only going to show you the Euro and the DXY like this, and the rest I'm going to show you the 4-hour charts and the 1-hour charts as I usually do. But like I said, the cycles and the sequences, once you see them in the higher time frame, as far as we're concerned, our indicator confirms, we will know what to trade for the next 6 months or even a year. Okay, so look at the Euro chart that was posted back in January this year. What did we say back in January? We said, so just to give you a zoom in here, look at that 9th of January. And if we go down here, you'll see that from when we forecasted downside, not once from the beginning of this year did we say expect a move to the upside on the Euro. And there has been a number of news, fundamental events that would have where some people were focusing that this is the end of the move. There's been the FOMC, there's been the NFP, CPI indexes coming out. That is all just noise. As long as you understand where you are going, and this is the difficult part, you know that doesn't matter what the noise is about. So we just follow the cycle and the sequence, and that's what we've been doing. So look at that chart from January. That chart never moved, and our members have read that chart from the beginning of January up to this stage. Now let's have a look at an updated one on the daily. You'll see that in February, as far as the Euro is concerned, I want you to see where we were. We were on 1320, 1320. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 0, we're simply looking for 5 waves to the downside, and we're looking for that to then pull back after making that move. So that was from February. So just go back to the euro and look at your daily chart to see how this one is played out. Look at that daily chart. Where have we been? We were at 1350. Okay, those who remember, we actually started selling the euro around this area, especially around this area. So from there, okay, this was a daily chart. From there up to where we are today, that is 1,500 pips. 1,500 pips that we've seen from the beginning of this year. And we have been selling that every time there's an opportunity, Even if we see this making a move to the upside, we were not interested because we know that the cycle is downside, okay? So when you know where the direction is, you don't worry about the noise. I don't even listen when people talk about the NFP. I just analyze, and we give our members that if you're trading the NFP, because we know that the direction is down, this is the strategy. Okay, so that is the euro. Let's go back to the lower time frame so you can see here on the 4-hour what we're anticipating. So we're anticipating the pullback. So this is an A. Let's have a look at this A and check if it is there on the weekly. Okay, let's check it on the daily so you can see it clearly. So that is the A there. Okay, let me zoom out here. So we are assuming that we have got our move down to around, we've reached parity at this stage. So this A could have ended here, and now we're getting a pullback. Let's just draw this one clearly. Remember, we're looking for this 1, 2. Let me draw this with a straight line so it can be accurate. We've been looking at this to be 5 waves. That is the 5 waves that we've been looking at, and it looks like we've got that already. We've reached parity. We've got that 3 waves, and now we're looking for this pullback, and then we're looking for this one to make another 5 waves to the downside so that we can complete the move as follows. So that A in blue could be something like this. Okay, and I've spent so much time explaining this. I hope you get it. And if you want more details on this, you can join our group, and we do a step-by-step update of this on a daily basis during our live trading room. Our live trading room is at 8 a.m. GMT every single morning for our members. So this is where we are, and we're looking for that pullback, okay? Right, so I think if I've given you perspective on the dollar index and the euro, you should be able to see forecast what we are expecting as far as the market is concerned. As you can see here, we're expecting this one to give us a 3-wave pullback to the upside, and that will be the expectation going into the new week. Okay, so that is the expectation going into the new week. Let's have a look here on the 4-hour. So anticipate something like this. So we're not saying upside, we're saying at least a 3-wave pullback. We are seeing some move here. Let's just take this off here. Let's take everything off. We are expecting at least a 3-wave pullback here. 1, 2, 3. At least to get to around that level, and then we'll take it from there. So that is what we're anticipating as far as the euro US dollar is concerned. Pound US dollar, same thing. We've been anticipating pound US dollar to come down from here. I'm not gonna show you everything. I think, guys, you have seen how many times I've shown you that pound US dollar has given us the structure from around here. I did say expect a couple of thousands of pips to come down here, and we are now here. Okay, maybe let me just do this one because it's quite interesting how big that move is on pound. So let's show you the pound move here. So I'm showing you the bigger moves, the bigger weekly charts, not just the 1-hour charts in the last week. And these 1-hour charts and these pips that we make on a week-to-week basis, they come from this long-term analysis, guys. Okay, so let's go to pound US dollar, and you'll see what the weekly chart looks like. Okay, so don't forget our live course, 5 September. Take advantage of that. Right, look at this. This chart was posted back in March. Look at that. So how did we know in March that pound is going to drop as low as about 118? We've reached 118. That's a big move on the daily. We knew already, even before, if you go to our webinars around the 2021, we said pound was going to push to the upside and we're going to drop. Okay, next week I'll show you how when we were here, we knew that we were going to get here and we're going to drop. And I did say when we were here, expect a couple of thousands of pips to the downside. I will show you next week how we forecasted that. Okay, so during our webinar next week, don't miss it. That's what we're going to be showing you. So look at that. That is a pound US dollar. You'll see that this analysis comes from long-term moves. Okay, so what are we expecting? We're at least expecting just a 3-wave pullback and a continuation to the downside on pound US dollar. That is the expectation, and that is on pound US dollar. US dollar CAD. Now, US dollar CAD is actually quite interesting. Let's have a look here at US dollar CAD. So we've been forecasting a move to the upside as far as US dollar CAD, expecting this to be starting a wave 1, 2 here, and expecting this one to be starting another 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So that may change looking at what looking at the short-term dollar strength. There's another alternative that will play out here, which we will be tracking. I'm on the weekly chart here. If you look at this here, we may be getting this move here to do this 1, 2, 3, and then a drop. Okay, but let's watch what we get here and confirm this reversal. So far, it has not been confirmed yet. So from here, we've been focusing this move. We've got that, and as you can see, it's a corrective move. It did not go up impulsively as we've been expecting. So this may come down here with this structure. So we'll be monitoring that. Okay, so let's just watch that on the weekly. But because of the short-term dollar weakness, I expect that we're going to see some downside on US dollar CAD in the next couple of trading sessions. Okay. Will it be this structure here giving us an expanding flat? So is this why we're going to see a bit of a drop here before we get a move to the upside? This needs to get, we need to get a little bit more data here on US dollar CAD, because if our initial focus is correct, this will need to confirm an expanding flat here. We've got a break to the top, a break to the low, and then a continuation to the upside. But it all is here where we need to see this corrective structure here. If we see corrective structure, that's going to invalidate, and we're going to see the option that I've shown you on the weekly. USDCHF, last week we indicated and we forecasted that this was going to make a push to the upside. We actually wanted to see a move to the around this level, but we only got up to the 50%, 61% of this whole move. So what we saw here, this was the forecast. You've seen this during the trade recaps. We've moved about 400 pips to 200, 300 pips to around this area, and we're dropping here. Now with the US dollar index, this may see this one drop to around this level. So let's see here how this plays out. So we're seeing a pullback across all the US dollar pairs. Now this is AUD US dollar. With the short-term dollar index weakness, we may see this push to the upside. How many times have I shown you this structure here on the weekly as well, that this is a possibility that we've got this one as a WXY, and we start seeing one more move to the upside. Is that the move that we've been expecting? Likely that is what we're going to see here. I'm on the daily, but let's have a look here in the lower degree to see what we're getting here on the 4-hour. Now, if you look at the 4-hour, it looks like we've got a bullish move that is going up in 5 waves. Let's see if here we can get at least a 3-wave pullback and a move to around this level, at least for a start. That is what we're going to be looking at. We'll be monitoring that. That is not a trade. So if you look at New Zealand, it has got exactly the same structure as the AUD. Okay, so have a look at that. So if you look at the AUD and the New Zealand, exactly the same structure, because that is a bigger 3-wave structure. WXY. Has this WXY structure ended here? Are we going to start making a move to the upside? Let's have a look here in the lower degree. That is what we're anticipating. It is not showing that much momentum, and the indicator is not confirmed upside this yet. But what we're seeing here is that we've got at least just one move to the upside, that one impulsive move that has gone up in 5 waves. Now we anticipate at least a 3-wave. Let's show this one here with this one. At least a 3-wave pullback that will result in this one pushing to the upside again before continuing to the downside. So we're just monitoring this one step by step. Okay, move for move, so until we can confirm whether we've got the reversal. Okay, so that is a New Zealand US dollar ZAR. What have we been showing on US dollar ZAR? Let me show you on the daily. On US dollar ZAR, we've got a very clear structure. Look at that. That is almost inch perfect structure, and confirming that the dollar index is going to see some weakness. This is a 3-wave move to the upside. This is a 3-wave pullback. This is a 3-wave move to the upside. Go watch our videos. This is exactly what I've shown, that we have seen 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here, expect 1, 2. When we were here, I showed you that you need to expect another 3 waves here so that you can have this one as a WXY corrective structure. Okay, for those that have not seen our video, It's got, I think it's got almost 100,000 video views. It is called How to Trade WXY or WXY XZ Like a Pro. Go and have a look at that video. It is on the description of our video. Okay, you'll see where these WXYs and how powerful they are on that video. So that is free content, guys. That is free content. You can find it, you'll find it easily there on our channel. So if you just Google or type how to trade WXY or WXYXZ, the video that we did in about 2017 or 2016, you'll see how powerful that video is. So we'll be anticipating that this would have been completed and we may start seeing a move to the downside. Okay, that is US dollar ZAR on the daily. What are we seeing here in the lower degree? It looks like we're starting to see a reversal. So let's see if that reversal is going to confirm. Right now, we go to the yen pairs. I have been saying that the yen pairs are continuing to push to the upside, but we should see a reversal pretty soon. Okay, you've seen how we forecasted, how we've been forecasting. Let's just show you here. The same way that we've been forecasting pound US dollar is exactly the same way that we're forecasting pound yen, expecting that pound yen is going to end this move here and we start dropping the same way that pound yen is dropping. So we've been anticipating that this is going to continue pushing to the upside, but eventually we're going to have to see a drop. And it looks like that drop is starting. And once it confirms, we'll check where we are. It's around 163, and we may get as low as 120. Now, in terms of pips, let's check how many pips that is. Roughly almost 5,000, even more. Okay, to the downside. If that plays out, we'll be looking for that. Okay, now we'll be waiting for those pips. Okay, those are the pips that we're going to be waiting for once confirmed by the indicator. We use a special indicator that is integrated into the Elliott wave theory. That is our special indicator. No one has invented that except for us trading waves. Okay, right. So before we move on to the lower degrees, let's go again back to the lower degree, before we move on to the next one. So it looks like we are at the end of the move here as far as pound yen is concerned. So the next expectation here is that this has made a three-wave pullback here. Let's draw it cleanly. This is a three-wave pullback here, and we'll be looking for this one to drop to around this level at least. Okay, so we may get a pullback down here, we may get this one doing that, and we may get one more move to the upside, making a complex corrective structure. What does that even mean? What have I drawn here? I'm not just drawing lines. These are clear waves and cycles. Okay, so we may get this one doing 1, 2, 3, and then we start dropping. Okay, we'll be waiting for that to should be showing divergence. We are seeing divergence on the RSI and the price. So let's see how that goes. So this has not been pushing to the upside, so we're expecting this to continue pushing to the downside at least. Okay, we'll be monitoring that and watching that. That's over 5,000 pips to the downside. Okay, now this is US dollar yen. US dollar yen and the dollar index or the US dollar are correlated. So if we are expecting a pullback on the dollar index, we're expecting that we're going to have same thing on US dollar yen. So expect a three-wave move like that. If it is just a pullback, then we'll see around this level when we get an ABC corrective structure. Okay, right. So that is US dollar yen, euro yen. Now, euro yen, as you can see, this has got a similar structure as pound yen. You can see here we had a three-wave corrective structure last week. We forecasted, as you've seen with the trade recap, that this is going to make us one more high before we drop. It looks like it's even struggling to even make a high here, and we could be at the end of the move. So any pullback here, we may be looking for this one to have ended the move on the euro. Right, so let's just have a look here on the daily why this move could have ended. If you look at that move, so that looks like, as you can see, we've got a three-wave structure here, a W, X, and a Y. Okay, but we've been anticipating that this was going to give us a structure like this, but so far it looks like there's no momentum to the upside. We'll be monitoring this here to see if we're still going to get one more up. If we get one more up to this level, that's even a more convincing move for us to trade this for a couple of thousands to the downside. That is a EUROCHF same. CHF the same. So if you look at CHF here, it's also not showing us a new leg to the upside. So as far as the CHF is concerned, we're expecting this to retest around the 138 area. So that means about a 300 pip drop. Okay, so remember, this is not confirmed downside. So we don't trade anything to the downside as long as the indicator. We've got a we've got rules that we use according to the indicator. It will tell you that if 1, 2, 3 is not confirmed, you don't trade the pullback. So these pullbacks, we don't trade unless the indicator tells us that this is a reversal. Okay, so far if it is only a pullback and the indicator is telling us this is only a pullback, we don't trade this. Because if the indicator does not confirm reversal, that means that this can go to the upside at any time. So far, there's a likelihood that this one comes and does this, and it just gives you an ABC corrective structure. So far, the indicator has not confirmed the reversal, so we will watch this one to just pull back. That is why, yes, last week, we have been forecasting upside. Okay, so let's watch this in the next coming week and see how that plays out. Right, so those are the yen pairs, and you'll see all of them doing the same thing. We're getting these pullbacks here on the yen pairs. So this one is CAD yen. As you can see, CAD yen, very clear structure, very, very nice textbook structure here. Actually, you'll see here we've got a pullback here, and we've got a three-wave move to the upside with a complex B correction. That's ABC. We could be looking at this one coming down here for a running flat or an expanding, rather a running flat or a regular flat to come to around this level. At this level, if this pattern is invalidated, we know that we're going to continue to the downside. If it plays out and it holds, we're going to see one more up before we get that reversal. But it looks like the yen pairs have started their moves to the downside, and this one is now AUD yen. So let's have a look at AUD yen. So 3 waves to the downside, it's another 3 waves to the upside. Are we going to see this one pulling back to around this level? Let's see here if we're going to get to that level. So we'll be watching that. Looks like we're going to get those moves to around these levels on the yen pairs pullbacks. New Zealand, so New Zealand yen, exactly the same thing here. If you look at this here, we also have a complex B correction here. 1, 2, we could be looking for this one to come around these levels before we get a move to the upside. So let's watch that and see if we're gonna get another move to the upside first, or if this is the end of the move and we're gonna start moving to the downside. So I have been saying that the yen pairs are pushing to the upside, but they are risky because they've already made such significant moves to the upside. Okay, so pullbacks on the yens, guys, means upside on the commodities. So does that mean that gold has ended its move? If you look at the daily on gold, we may have completed the move on gold with 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, and 5 waves to the downside, giving us an ABC corrective structure. So if we start seeing gold move to the upside, that will also be confirming the upside, or rather the downside on the yen pairs. Now have a look at this one here on gold. We had 1, 2, 3. We've got 1, 2, 3 here. We've got 5 waves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Textbook setup. Then we can start seeing upside. Those who know a regular flat is a simple 3, 3, 5 structure. So let's see here. We need to get confirmation from the indicator to see if gold is going to start pushing to the upside. Okay, so do not rush this. Do not rush this just because of the pattern. The indicator needs to confirm this. It is not convincing at this stage, and the indicator is not confirmed that reversal either. Similarly, on silver, we've got 3 waves down, 3 waves up. Looking at this one here, it's actually 5 waves down here on silver, with this one here as a leading diagonal. Let's draw this one here as a leading diagonal. You can see here it's an inch perfect leading diagonal. That's your leading diagonal. That's your leading diagonal. So that means on silver, you've got what looks like an A, B, C corrective structure. So that's 5 waves. Why am I saying 5 waves? Let's do that properly. Let's count it properly. So you can see that this is not forced. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves within the diagonal. That's A, B. That's, you can see here, that's your B. And then you're going to have this one as 1, 2, 3. I'm not cluttering it. 3, 4, 5. Could it be that silver is done with its move? So we'll be waiting for that confirmation around this area. So far, we don't have this confirmation. Let's see here if we can at least have a pullback here on silver. So far, no confirmation. Let's go to the lower time frame. Right, so lower time frame is still showing us a bit more downside. Let's just go closely on this here. You see, so silver, so we could be just getting this one to do that. One more down before we get that pullback would have then completed. Platinum, right, so you all know that we've been selling platinum from here at the top, okay? We've been selling platinum here Even when we got this move here around here, we got another trade blue box here, and we just kept selling platinum. If it goes again here, platinum, we're gonna sell it again. So why have we been selling? Simply because of the structure here on platinum. Let's have a look at that structure. This is why we sold platinum. We sold it here when it pulled back with this 3-wave expanding flat here, drops, gives us another pullback. We sold again because we understood this structure. We understood this structure. What is that structure? It's a WXY corrective structure. Have we ended the move here? We're waiting for that confirmation, just like we're waiting for gold and silver to confirm whether we're going to have at least a pullback around current levels. Okay, that's how sequences and cycles work. Let's have a look at Brent crude oil. Brent crude oil, let's have a look here. So we've been spot on with Brent crude oil. Let's have a look at Brent crude oil. What is the expectation with Brent crude oil? Brent crude oil, we're expecting it to play out this structure here and this structure here. So we still want to see this one push one more down here. And if you look here in the middle, we've got a complex B correction here. 1, 2, 3. If you've been watching our videos, we've been talking about this complex B correction for a while now. We want to see oil come down here for one before we get a move to the upside. Are we going to get a move to the upside? Oil is still bearish so far. We want to see here make a move to the upside. Let's see if the structure is going to hold. But so far, expect at least a pullback on oil back to around these levels. Right, pound Audi. Now, pound Audi, we've been looking at this corrective structure. So let me just give you the background on this one here, how we've been looking at this. We looked at this one to be 1, 2, 3. 1, my mouse is a bit slippery. 1, 2, 3, and we wanted to see this one come down. Okay, it didn't. It made instead a complex correction here as follows. So if you look at this complex correction, this is what we have here. Now let's have a look here. This is 1, 2. Okay, we've made 1, 2. We've made 1, 2, 3. So in that case, we're expecting that if that is the drop, we need to see upside first before dropping. What does that mean? That means you'll have had a W and a complex X correction and a complex B correction. Okay, complex X correction and the complex X correction. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. If you don't know what complex B correction and complex X correction is, that is in the Elliott wave theory master works. Right, that's what we have there on pound Audi. Pound CAD is not showing any pullback, but it's possible that we can get this one to at least give us a 3-wave move here. We are getting signs here. We're getting a divergence between the indicator, not the indicator that we use. I'm just referring to the relative strength index. The relative strength index is simply this green chart that you see there. So that is your relative strength index, and you can see that relative to the price that has been pushing to the upside. So anticipate that at some point pretty soon here, pound CAD is going to start giving us a 3-wave pullback, not a reversal, a 3-wave pullback that will still continue to the downside. So far, that is what we have. I'm not even going to go to the lower time frame. Maybe I should just go at least up to the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, we are starting to see signs of this one pushing to the upside here. So for just a move back to around these levels. That is not a reversal, it's just a move to around that area. Pound CHF has been pushing down since for some time now. We've been bearish on this one for the longest time. Let me just go back to the daily so you can see how bearish this has been. We have been looking for this one to just make a 3-wave structure. And even here, we're still anticipating that it will still continue to around these levels. Now, the lower time frame, there's nothing new on pound CHF, no expectation of a reversal, still expecting it to continue to the downside, but it will be very foolish to go and sell at this stage. Even though there is a possibility that this will pull back with another 3 waves back to this level before dropping, I would rather sell it here than sell it below this. If it doesn't pull back, I will not want to get into a new trade. I will want to see it pull back to around that level, at least with that 3-wave corrective structure. Then the indicator can clearly show us whether we can still push to the downside. So far, it is too low to sell. Okay, remember, you want to sell high and buy low. Now, this is too low to sell, and you don't want to be buying at this level. Right, so that is pound CHF. Pound New Zealand, similar to pound Audi. What we're anticipating is that we've got what looks like a complex corrective structure here. We've got the 3 waves to the upside. We're seeing this one as 3 waves. There's a likelihood that we can see this one push to around this level before dropping, and you would have had a WXY corrective structure. So let's watch this here in the coming week to see if we're going to have a bounce there before dropping. Okay, that is a pound New Zealand. Rather, now let's go to the Euro pairs. Now, if you look at the Euro pairs, what did we say a couple of weeks ago? We said this is a 3 waves up, 3 waves down, and this is a 3 waves to the upside. When that is completed, we expect downside, and this has been playing out inch perfect. So the only thing that you anticipate here with this is a 3-wave pullback, should give you an entry for continuation to the downside. You already have this textbook WXY corrective structure. Again, I refer you to our video, how to trade WXY or WXYXZ like a pro. What we don't show on that video is the relationship between the Elliott wave theory as well as the indicator. We don't show that. So we're just showing you the structure. And remember, you cannot just trade the structure alone. You need to have a indicator or a momentum that shows you whether the trade is going to play in the direction that you are forecasting. EURCAD, just like PoundCAD, should continue to the downside. No indications of downside. What we are going to expect here on EURCAD is you've got 3 waves up, 3 waves back, at least just a pullback to around these levels, giving you this WXY corrective structure here. That is the anticipation, at least a bit of a move to the upside. Excuse my mouse today, guys. It's a bit slippery, but that is the structure that we are looking for. I think when I draw straight, that's when it's clearer. 3 waves up, 3 waves back, anticipate a structure like this, and then continuation to the downside. That should give you a WXY corrective structure. Right, EUROCHF, just like PoundCHF, expect this to continue to the downside. No signs of reversal. 1, 2, 3, this continues to the downside. Any pullback, look to sell this if you get a proper opportunity to do so. Right, so that is the EUROCHF, then EUROPOUND. Now, EUROPOUND may have changed the structure. If you remember last week, we focused on the pullback as follows. Remember what we indicated last week, that this could be making a 3-wave pullback. So when we were here, we said we want to see this come into the blue box. Go watch that video. We wanted to see this come into the blue box and push to the upside. We have, just like the yen pairs, we have dropped into the blue box, but we've only simply made a 3-wave corrective structure to around this level, and this may start continuing to the downside. Let's watch and see here, okay, on EUROPOUND. So this may be looking for a downside. Right, let's go. Have I done Euro New Zealand? I think I have. How did I do Euro? I think I've done Euros. Yes, I've done the Euro pairs. Okay, I should have started with the Euro pairs. I think I started with the Euro pairs. Yes, I've already done the Euro pairs. Now let's go to the crosses. Now with the crosses, AUD New Zealand, simple. 3 waves down, 3 waves back. I expect a move down here and a continuation to the upside. Again, we've got a complex B correction here where we're getting an ABC corrective structure, ABC corrective structure. This is a WX. It's actually an X. It's a complex X correction. And then we're looking for this one to drop and then continue to the upside. That's a complex X. We've got within the complex X, a complex B, A, B. Okay, this is powerful, very powerful if you understand the concept. Okay, so let's have a look. That is the anticipation on AUD New Zealand, AUDCAD. Okay, let's have a look here, the bigger structure on AUDCAD. So we'll be looking at this one here. Has it completed the move to the downside? Doesn't look likely. We are getting a pullback here, which could just do this and continue to the downside. Let's go to the lower degree here, 4 hour. Okay, so we'll be watching this one here. Could this one start, can this one start a move here with an expanding flat as follows and we start dropping? Let's watch how that goes in the next week. So that's the expectation. AUDCHF. AUDCHF also looking like a 3 waves up, 3 waves back, 3 waves up. Could be coming down here for this leg here, move to the upside and then a drop. Okay, so that will be a WXY corrective structure. So many WXY corrective structures, and where there's a WXY corrective structure, you can be sure that there's a good trade looming. Okay, now this is New Zealand CAD. Again, same thing here. 1, 2, 3, possibly to around these levels and a continuation to the downside. Let's keep an eye on that. Okay, we'll be tracking that and watching. New Zealand CHF, same. 3 waves up, down, 3 waves up, down. That is the anticipation. Bit of a move to the downside. Could we get one more up before we drop? Then we'll have the WXY corrective structure. So the market looks pretty interesting for good trade setups over the next couple of trading sessions. Now, this one is a CADCHF. Okay, we've already talked about CADCHF and how we forecasted the move to the upside. Remember how we forecast it after these 3 waves here. We're looking at this as an expanding flat and expecting this one to make a push to the upside. But instead, we've only come to around the 50%. With that 50%, we are seeing 1, 2, 3. Is this going to continue to the upside? We may continue to the upside to about 60% and then still drop. So that means that will be the end of the upside move on the CAD. Okay, so we'll be tracking that now. Let's have a look at the indices. Now, the indices are pretty interesting, guys. Okay, because what we are seeing here on the indices, let's have a look. There's 2 possibilities here that with the indices are ripe for another leg to the upside, like that. Okay, but so far across all the indices, as you will see, this looks like a WXY corrective structure. All right. But the structure is not confirming that this is going to continue to the upside. I'm going to go to the structure. So far, what we are seeing, this structure needs to be invalidated for this to continue pushing to the upside. So if this is going to be valid and we start seeing continuation to the downside, that structure is going to be invalidated and we're going to see much more downside on the indices. So far, we want to see this one invalidate this structure, maybe around this level, then that structure will be invalidated. We start looking for pullbacks and then upside. And that is the structure across all the indices. Now, if you look at the Dow Jones Industrial, okay, so usually if this is just a simple 3-wave structure, we will know that this is going to continue pushing to the upside. But so far, this is coming up here with 3-wave structure, and 3-wave structures usually continue to the downside. Okay, we are seeing some divergence here. That's actually not even divergence. Why am I saying that it's not divergence? This is not divergence because this is also going up. When price and the indicator are doing the same thing, that is not called divergence. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So this can continue to the downside because there is not even divergence between these two. So upside is not confirmed across the indices. We need to confirm first. So we want to see confirmation on whether this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, an ABC corrective structure, and we're going to start seeing upside. This needs to give an entry here, and the indicator needs to give us confirmation that we are going to see a continuation to the upside. The DAX as well. Now the DAX, we said if it takes the low here, that's indication that it's going to continue to the downside. Why is it that it's touching here confirms downside? Even if you see the DAX push to the upside, because it's already touched here, that looks like a corrective structure, and it's just going to come and do this. And that will be an ABC corrective structure, textbook, regular flat. We'll see the DAX reach 1500 again, 15,000 again, and continue to the downside. Okay, UK 100 again. We're anticipating that after this 3-wave pullback, it was going to push to the upside. But again, just like the others, it is coming up here with 3 waves, which means we may see this one come down here some more. But let's watch that. Cannot confirm all the indices at this stage. We need to see a little bit more data during the start of the sessions. Okay. Right. So this is the NASDAQ. Clear A, B, C. This one looks pretty strong. A pullback here in 3, confirmation of upside. We may see the NASDAQ get back to around the 200 area here in this state. And next one is the Nikkei. Let's have a look at the Nikkei, last but not least. Okay, so the Nikkei also is giving us a 3-wave pullback. We've seen these 3 waves here. Let's show it clearly. Let's show that 3 waves clearly. So if you look at the Nikkei, we've got this 1, 2, 3. So we have been anticipating that after this, we're going to see the Nikkei push to the upside. We have not quite pushed to the upside the way we wanted to see. We are seeing this impulsive move that was encouraging, but we're seeing this pullback here in 3, 1, 2, 3. Is this going to continue pushing to the upside, or is it going to come to around this level? Because coming to around this level means we may have an even bigger correction like that, which gives us this as a WXY corrective structure before we see a move to the upside. So far, let's just anticipate a move back to around 30,000 as far as the Nikkei is concerned. Okay, right, so that's what we have. And lastly, it is the nifty of all the pairs, this is the one that looks more promising, as it has got 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and the 3 waves down, and it looks like it's making a move to the upside. Any confirmation of an entry here as far as the Nikkei is concerned, we are going to see at least a retest of the previous highs on the Nikkei here. Okay, we've got a simple WXY corrective structure here on the Nikkei. Let's see what happens around this area. All right, guys, so that's what I have for you this week. Do not forget our live webinar next week at 8 a.m. GMT Sunday morning. And don't forget to take advantage the last week of our lifetime 50% off special. After that, it's going to normal price. Then you will not have an opportunity again. And our live course starts on the 5th of September. So if you take the course now, you'll get a recorded version. You can start watching it. And when we engage live, you spend 10 days with me, ask questions on areas where you are not clear, and you stay with us. If you take the lifetime plan, you stay with us for the rest of the year, or not for the rest of the on the lifetime. And for the full course, it is a year access. Right. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you for watching. Trade responsibly. Cheers, everybody. Give us that thumbs up and that bell notification button so you get a notification the next time we upload. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.